Tim Cooper said he's
The
been...
radio is 17.76.
I just have a question, man.
Yeah.
Since I'm not calling witnesses, what am I doing? Just arguing my case at this point?
Basically, you guys are just arguing over the facts. We're just going to have to find whose story is more probable based on the evidence present.
Okay.
Alright, all rise. Germain, Maximillian, Francais, DeMarquis, Robespier, Pendragon III, presiding over the First Circuit Court. We're hearing the civil case on the matter of Tim Cooper v. the State of San Andreas. The plaintiff is not present and is being represented in absentia by his solicited attorney, Stephen Marcus, and the Los Santos Police Department is being represented by private counsel, Larson. Mr. Stephen, if you'd like to approach and read out your cause for and tort for the suit and make your opening statement.
Of course.
You all may be seated. Stephen, you may approach and begin your opening argument and your cause for tort.
I apologize. Sorry about that. Okay, so basically, let's keep this short. Let's try not to waste the court's time. So basically, my client Tim Cooper here, he was vacating the hospital when he was approaching his vehicle when he saw a officer Caleb Rich at that point breaking into his vehicle. At that point in time, Tim approached the officer and told him, "Don't take my vehicle." The officer did not identify himself at that point in time. He lockpicked the car. He hijacked the vehicle. At that point in time, Tim, on his own accordance, pulled out a weapon and shot at the officer. At this point in time, I would like to mention three basically issues that I have to bring up to this point. I don't have a client here to represent today, so I do not have any witnesses to bring. So basically, we're just arguing our case at this point. My one argument is that the officer failed to identify himself when Tim approached him. Two, that the fact that the officer continued to break into Tim's vehicle and continue to steal it. Three, the complete disregard of my client's Fourth Amendment right under the search and seizure, and his vehicle was seized. At that point, that's all I have to say at this point about my opening statement and my case. The floor is yours, Larson.
Larson, you may begin your opening statement.
Alright, Your Honor, a few things I'd like to point out. The plaintiff's side failed to provide any sort of discovery. There's no evidence to support their claims. Secondly, again, with the no discovery, it's pretty much him just saying this, that, and the third. Me as defending the department, I do strongly believe that the actions carried out by my officers was completely warranted and within my officers' duty and rights. There were no rights violations, nothing of that nature. Rest my case on that.
Are you sure you want to rest your case now before the examination of evidence and oral arguments?
I'd actually like to motion for dismissal here, Your Honor, for the failure of evidence given by the plaintiff's side. Like I said, there's no discovery.
I do believe that there is one piece of evidence present establishing that an incident did happen, being the MDT. While I can't affirm or deny if he has made his establishing argument for his side, there is still enough present to warrant a suit to discover the truth of the matter. I'm going to go ahead and overturn your motion.
Like I said,
Oh, shit.
Dear heavens!
Your Honor,
That's my bad. My bad. Sorry.
Please note for the record, plaintiff counsel will be fined $5,000 for breach of court decorum. This will be applied at the end of the court.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
All right.
But yeah, I do rest my case on that path.
All right, Stephen, if you'd like to begin your oral arguments and your direct presentation of evidence.
Of course. So my question, right off the bat to Larson here is in your SOPs.
Hold on a moment. You need to call him as a witness if you want to question him.
Fair. Sorry, that's my bad. Sorry. Okay, let me rephrase myself. Under the police SOPs, I do not believe that there is a written statement about vehicles being stolen from civilians. If there is, I believe that the officer does have to identify himself, which he failed to do so. At that time, I do believe that the officer did not have the right to steal Tim's vehicle from the hospital. This is basically what we're arguing about, is the misuse of police judgment and the understanding that it shouldn't be stealing vehicles like from civilians, and the fact that Tim had to resort to pulling a weapon on the officer to basically retrieve his vehicle from the officer. At that point in time, Tim was just basically handcuffed at that time. So my basic argument about this, sorry, I'm just a little flustered. This is my first court case. I do apologize. The main issue at this point is the fact that Tim stole not Tim, my bad. Can I motion for a 2-minute recess while I collect myself?
We'll go ahead and grant a 2-minute recess.
Thank you.
You open the door, bro.
He doesn't seem very calm and collected, man. I'm gonna be real. Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you for to be quiet in the courtroom, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell was that?
Once a
Unless
2-minute
you are
recess.
called upon, please sit down.
You haven't even been in court for 5 minutes.
It's got low blood sugar or something, I guess.
Got you, gay. Oh, shit.
Should I take it easy on him, Germain?
No. Represent your side to the best of your abilities. That's your duty as an attorney.
Hey, John.
Yeah, honestly, it's I don't know nothing about it either.
Yo, I'm about to bomb this place
Hey,
out. Yo, what? Yo, I was whispering. Wait, I heard that. Yo.
It's gonna be fun.
Yo, do us a favor and escort that man out of the building, please, and thank you.
Yo, search me. I don't have nothing. I didn't do nothing.
Go to the white shirt man.
Fuck you, snitch. Well, okay.
Stop making disturbance in the court. Shut your ass up.
Shut your ass up, Tim.
I got you.
Sir.
Hey, John. Sit sure. Wait, this prison, like the prison here? No, there's a prison cell like downstairs. Oh, I guess I there once, because I was...
I apologize about that. I've collected myself.
Alright, are you ready to proceed, counsel?
I am ready to proceed.
Be quiet.
I want to call witness Grant Larson to the stand.
Bailiff, once the witness is seated, will you please swear him in? Brando, you're the bailiff.
Go
swear him in. Alright. I will swear in the witness to accommodate the bailiff's speech impediment. Would you please take a seat, Mr. Larson? Mr. Larson, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
You may begin your direct examination, counselor.
So, Larson, I have a question for you. You viewed the video evidence, correct?
I have.
The fact that you viewed the video evidence, can you tell me the fact that you did witness Caleb stealing the vehicle?
I witnessed him commandeering a vehicle.
You also witnessed Tim asking him not to steal his vehicle, correct?
I witnessed Tim Cooper saying, "Get out of the car before I shoot you."
Did
Those might
any
not be
point...
quoted words, but that is practically what he said.
Okay. At any point in time, did Caleb identify himself as a police officer?
Oh shit! Oh, officer, I couldn't say.
Caleb did not identify himself. No, he did not.
Did he speak to Tim after Tim made that request of do not take the vehicle?
I would have to rewatch it. I don't really remember what's quoted.
Yo!
Regardless, you did witness Officer Caleb taking a vehicle that did not belong to him, correct?
I witnessed him commandeering a vehicle, yes.
Is that under SOPs for police officers to be commandeering vehicles?
Yes. Police officers can commandeer vehicles, yes.
And they can commandeer civilian vehicles?
They can commandeer vehicles. I don't think there's necessarily a label on that.
Now, what is the reasoning or the legal law behind them being able to commandeer a vehicle? Does it have to be under some sort of duress or some sort of immediate danger?
Could you restate that? I do apologize. What was the question?
Basically, I was asking, does the officer have to have a reason to take a vehicle? Does it have to be under duress or the fact that the vehicle is needed in an emergency case?
Typically, when an officer commandeers a vehicle, he's got somewhere to be, and he's got somewhere to be urgently. If that answers your question.
It does.
Give me 1 minute.
In that case,
give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
We will be granting a 2-minute recess requested by Counselor Larson.
Was that Tim? That's not Tim. Who's that? Yo, shoot Germain.
I'm here.
Sit down or leave.
Alright, Steven? You may continue your questioning.
Sorry, we're back?
Yes. Yes, we are back.
So, in that video, did you witness Officer Caleb hitting his distress button?
Like I said, it's been a little bit since I've reviewed it. I tried to review it before the court case, and I no longer can review that.
I understand. I'm in the same position. So under all these pretenses, you do believe that Caleb had the right and reasoning to steal a vehicle that did not belong to him and or identify himself?
He had the right to commandeer a vehicle. Stealing is not the correct terminology in this case.
I was there when it happened.
So, define to me the difference between, well, let me just rephrase the question. Is stealing not the fact of taking an item that does not belong to you?
By definition, yes, but in the officer's case, the officer has the right to commandeer a vehicle, or he needs to get somewhere in a urgent manner when he does not have his emergency vehicle by him.
So as a civilian walking straight out of the hospital, witnessing someone that did not identify himself as a police officer, taking your vehicle, you don't think that was the just cause to shoot that person out of the vehicle?
Well, sir, do you have proof that that vehicle is his?
I could ask you the same question. Do you have proof that the vehicle was not his?
I mean, I'm asking you a question to go off the evidence that we have. Tim Cooper has a violent history. Murder being charges as well. So, you don't have proof it's his, I don't have proof it's his, and he has a violent history. For all
What
we
does
know, he
his
could have been
past have
having
to do with the fact that the officer stole his vehicle?
He commandeered a vehicle, and like I said, you have no proof to prove it's his. So, what legal justification do you have to argue that that vehicle is his? I go outside and go claim a vehicle I see sitting on the road. Does it make it mine? Does it give me a right to shoot someone that gets in it?
I understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, it was still Tim's vehicle that that officer took. The fact that he didn't identify himself
Hold on
is
one
still an
second.
issue.
Bailiffs, the gentleman with the red mask and the red sweater and white pants that's just been cuffed, please take him and fine him $50,000 for contempt of court, as well as the assault on the bailiff.
In four.
You
There's
may
a guy
continue.
with a gun inside the courthouse. He's aiming a gun at me. I'm scared.
You may continue, Stephen.
Thank you.
Well, that's pretty much all the question I had for Larson. He's very, yeah, that's all the question I have. I'm sorry.
All right.
Can I go ahead and approach?
Stephen, are you done with your oral arguments and examination of evidence?
I am.
All right. You may approach and begin your oral arguments and examination of evidence, counselor.
Perfect. So, as stated on the witness stand, and
Sorry,
a question
let me leave.
A question made by the plaintiff's lawyer. He claims that the vehicle is not his.
Real quick, we have a weapon.
Oh my God, bailiff! He's got a gun! Gun in the courtroom! Oh my God!
Get him! He's got a gun!
Kill him up! Hello, motherfuckers!
Arrest him! He has a gun!
Can we
I'm
keep
starting
that
city.
courtroom door
What
locked,
the fuck
please?
is going on, man?
Them told me
I
to
don't know. Turn around and see an
Kill that
AK-47.
motherfucker!
What the
Oh, dying your ass, bro. Kill that guy.
Nah, I'm just tapping the radio.
Okay.
So bring me the
14v. It's like a 14v1, bro. Just come.
Bailiffs,
Ain't
please
hard.
keep that door secure. Don't open
There's a
it
zone.
anymore.
No one cares about a zone, Junior. So shut your ass up.
Just push it on that gang, cause bitch ass up.
All right.
Okay,
Don't
shut your
shoot,
bitch ass
Nick.
up.
All right.
Yeah,
Order in the
yeah,
court!
yeah.
Order in the court! Order in the court! Counselor
Like,
Larson,
don't
you
shoot.
may continue.
Okay. So, as stated by the plaintiff's selected counsel, he claims that the vehicle that Tim Cooper shot an officer out of was his. In the evidence submitted and gathered by myself, gathered by the LSPD, and evidence given by the plaintiff's counsel, there is no way to prove that that vehicle is Tim Cooper's. We have reason we have the reason to believe, based on his violent track record, and I ask Your Honor to refer to my discovery of multiple NDP reports of Tim Cooper's violent history. We have reason to believe that Tim Cooper was lashing out Give me a second while I review my discovery, and I can give you exact.
This is not true. I was there. You can't use his record against him.
Please refrain from outbursts in the court.
Stand for.
It is up to the plaintiff's counsel to object to such things.
But what if I was there and I know everything that happened?
So, as I was saying, he has an account of an
Hold on a
assault with
second.
deadly-
Mr. Nova, you're saying you're there. Could you please clarify on what you were at and when?
I was at the hospital with him. We were coming back. We went to the hospital together. Do you want me to explain, like, fully what I saw?
What was the date and time that this occurred? Mr. Draco? Mr. Draco, are you there? Oh.
no more, don't wanna hit that pole. Get my old plug, I get it in and go. Shot it, owe me something, better pay your toll. I lit the spoon and I scraped the balls. Scrape the balls, scrape the balls. Like, did you get the river? She eat a rotary. I'm popping hella skittles, and I can solve your riddle. We'll smoke you like it's menthol. Do this crazy mental. A SWAT hood hero. Got Johnny Dang dental. She's a new belle. She's slobbing on a pillow. Got chicken wrapped in Nero. She's so gone and she can hear. She don't want to strip no more. Don't want to hit that pole. In my own love, I get it and go. She don't want to strip no more. Don't want to hit that pole. Get my old plug, I get it in and go. Shot it, owe me something, better pay your toll. I lit the spoon and I scraped the balls. Scrape the balls, scrape the balls. Seen way too many ones. I'm about to throw some hoes.
What's up?
Wait, let me come here, come here.
Trying to figure that out.
Damn. who y'all roasting, bro?
Welcome back, Judge.
All right, Mr.
Welcome back,
Larson,
Germain.
Mr. Marcus, were you aware of Mr. Draco as a witness to the events in question?
Negative.
I'm gonna go ahead and permit his entrance as a witness under the exculpatory rule, and if either side wishes to enter him, he may make a motion to do so now.
I'll make a motion to do so.
Alright, he's entered as a witness. Given that you had your examination and oral direction first, we'll go ahead and permit you to call him as a witness once Mr. Larson finishes his direct examination and oral arguments.
Understandable.
You may go ahead and continue, Mr. Larson.
Yep, so as I was saying, the plaintiff's counsel claimed that the car that Tim Cooper shot my officer, or the officer, out of, said it was his. There's no proof proving that. He has no proof to show that it's his. Mr. Cooper does have a line of violent crime. We'll go ahead and read them now to you. He has 3 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, grand theft auto, and he has a charge of not complying with an officer. We have reason to believe that the plaintiff was lashing out. He has a violent history, longer than most. But he shot my officer.
Just because he's got a history don't mean he's a changed man.
Is Mr. Jones present in the courtroom?
He is.
Yeah.
Bailiff, please take Mr. Jones down to the cells to the door to my right and fine him $50,000 for contempt of court. If he doesn't comply, fine him $100,000 for 2 counts of contempt of court.
I don't think they're gonna be able to catch him. I think we should just shoot him.
Yeah, they got that nigga, bro. 100K is crazy, dude. This nigga.
I did nothing. I did nothing.
Please fine him 100,000 for 2 counts of contempt of court,
Oh, he's
bailiff.
gone.
The one I got, or the one that's still running around?
Cloudy Jones is the only one. And do not permit Mr. Jones back in. Let him out the side door down there after you fine him. Mr. Larson, you may go ahead and continue.
Yes. Like I said, Mr. Cooper has a long list of violent crimes. Violent crimes against individuals, violent crimes. Matter of fact, in front of the police station, he was lashing out. He saw an officer commandeering a vehicle. Mr. Tim Cooper took it upon himself to draw his gun and shoot my officer. Done it before. He did it again. And the plaintiff really has no evidence to prove otherwise. The video evidence that was submitted seems to be corrupted. I'm not one to say that, jump to assumption, but that video evidence is no longer able to be watched. We've supported, and via my discovery, all the MDT reports on Tim Cooper to prove his violent crimes. If you'd like to take it upon yourself and try and find the license plate of the alleged vehicle that Mr. Cooper owned, I would love for you to do so. I say good luck. A, the video evidence supported, can't look at it, you can't get a plate. B, we've already done our extensive research. There is no car matching that description that comes back to Mr. Cooper.
This nigga's back. This nigga's back, bro.
Like I said, there's no proof to prove that that vehicle was Mr. Cooper's. Like I said, I'm just going to reiterate, we have reason to believe he was just lashing out. Has a violent history. He acted violently.
This is not
again.
true.
And I rest my argument on that.
Thank you. Mr. Nova, if you have another outburst, you will be fined for contempt of court.
I'm a witness, though.
Does it mean you can't be fined for contempt of court?
Temple.
Mr. Steven, would you like to call Nova as a witness if you so choose?
Wish to call Nova to the witness stand, please.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Nova.
Oh yeah, where's the witness stands there?
It's to my left.
Right side over here.
Your left? Oh yeah. Is it this one? Yeah.
Yes, that one. I will.
Oh,
No.
right here, sir.
No, the
Right.
chair directly to my left, Mr. Nova.
Yeah.
Oh,
right
10-4.
All right, Mr. Nova. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but
Yes,
the truth,
sir.
so help you God? Stephen, you may begin your direct examination of the witness.
Yeah, he's good.
Doing today, sir.
Amazing.
So you said you were a witness to this this transpiring. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
To your best knowledge of your memory of recollection of happening, did Tim advise the officer not to steal the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember what color the vehicle was?
It was a gray sedan, I'd say. I don't know what exactly car was, but it was gray, grayish black.
Was it gray or was it black?
Grayish black.
Oh, he's on the
Okay.
side.
I'd say it's gray. Dark
Ooh.
gray.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to also add that I was at the hospital with him, and when I came out the hospital, Officer Caleb, he tried to steal my car too. I asked him to get out. He did get out. But then he still tried stealing Tim's car. He did not get out. Tim asked him nicely, and he shot.
Okay. Another question for you. By any chance, did Officer Caleb identify himself?
He did not identify himself, but Tim knew who he was instantly. He said his name multiple times, I believe.
Okay. So basically, in your eyes, you did witness Caleb basically steal Tim's car while Tim asked him not to steal a vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Tim asked him multiple times, and then he drew his gun, and then asked him again. And then he said no. So, he shot.
That's all the questions I have for my witness, sir.
Thanks, sir.
Larson, if you wish to cross-examine, you're more than welcome to.
How you doing today, Mr. Draco?
I'm doing amazing, Mr. Larson. How are you doing today?
Can't complain, brother. Do you recall the date that this happened?
The date? No, I do not.
Okay. Would you say you're good friends with Tim Cooper?
Yes, sir. I do everything with him.
Interesting. And does Tim Cooper have you known Tim Cooper to be violent?
Yes.
Okay.
May I ask, what does the violence have to do with protecting his car?
Just allow me to ask my question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have you seen Tim Cooper drive around in that exact vehicle before?
No, sir, but that is one of the rentals that you can get from the apartments.
Interesting. And did Mr. Cooper ever show you any rental papers to prove that that was a rental from him?
No, but I did see him get the rental. I saw him, purchase it.
Interesting. Well, typically when you go rent a car, you'd have some sort of proof to prove that that was a rental car, yes?
I think he might have it on him, but he never really showed me.
Was Mr. Tim Cooper in this courtroom today?
No, he is not. He is not in city. I should probably get my hat on. Damn, I'm ugly.
And so what you're saying is there's no real way to prove that Tim Cooper owned this car, or possessed this car legally.
No, it's not. But Caleb still tried stealing his car. No.
I choose the term commandeering, which is within his right, but I digress. To ask you further, whereabouts were you when this instance took place exactly at the hospital?
Exactly where I was, I'd say, like inside the hospital somewhere, like inside the doors, I'd say. I was watching it happen, and I could hear it.
Oh, inside the hospital. Well, I'm familiar with the hospital. If you're inside the hospital, sir,
I wasn't inside it, I was like by the doors, like
well, sir, you just said that you were inside the hospital.
Well, I said like inside the doors. I don't know how to describe.
Well, sir, if you're inside, you're either inside of the hospital or you're outside of the hospital, and to my recollection,
I was standing by
layout...
the door. I was leaving the hospital, and I saw it happen. I walked over, I didn't come close, and that's when I heard it, and I saw it happen.
You heard it happen, or you saw it happen?
I heard and saw. I heard them talking, and I stood somewhat like at a distance away, and I saw it happen. I saw him shoot him. I saw him aim the gun at him. I saw him lockpicking it. I saw him shoot him.
Interesting. And if you said you were by the doors of the hospital, that it seems to be quite a good distance away from where this vehicle is parked. How could you have possibly heard anything?
Objection, leading question.
Counselor, could you please rephrase that question?
Yeah.
Going off where you stated you were standing, did you for sure hear him?
Yes, sir, I heard it.
Okay. And what was the conversation like between Tim Cooper and the officer?
It was short. It was all about just get out the car. He said it multiple times. That's it. He didn't get out the car. Tim drew his gun, aimed it at him. He still didn't get out. He shot him.
Interesting. Okay. I'm just going to ask this again for further clarification. Are you familiar with the layout of the hospital?
Yes, sir.
What the fuck?
I'll allow you to sit back down.
Sorry.
You're good.
So you're familiar with the layout of the hospital. Now, let's close our eyes and imagine a little bit. Where exactly let me just ask you this question, I apologize. Where was the car parked in reference?
I don't know how to describe it. Like, when you come out the main hospital doors, to the left a little bit. That's where the car was.
Okay, is it behind a wall, kind of sheltered from a door, any view, or is it in view of everything?
It's in view. So it's not far away from the hospital. It's just right, like, outside it, I'd say.
Okay, could you clarify a little farther, like pinpoint more of an exact location of where exactly it's at?
I don't really know how to describe where it is. Like, you just walk out of the hospital, look to your left, and you see it.
Okay. And when you say walk out of the hospital, are you referring to the doors, or are you referring to under the pavilion? Like under the
I'm
shelter?
referring to the doors.
Okay. And you walked out of the main doors, you said?
Yes, sir. The doors that are under the shelter.
Okay. Well, Your Honor, I'd like it have it noted, if you walk out of the hospital, you have a wall blocking your point of view to anything on the left side of the hospital. Okay.
Is there any objection from the opposing counsel on that matter of fact?
Am I the opposing
All right.
Nope.
All right, we'll go ahead and take that as a matter of fact for the purposes of this case.
Okay. I'd also like it noted, Your Honor, the witness stated that he was by the doors. The layout of the hospital, you're actually blocked by the wall in reference to where the car is parked. There is no way the witness could
I
have
walked
seen...
out the doors and I walked forward a little bit and then I could see past the wall. I didn't just walk out and stop.
Well, sir, I'm going off the words you stated under oath.
How?
You stated that you were by the doors. You never once claimed
I stated that I walked through the doors.
And you never stated that you walked further past that point, sir.
Well, I didn't know that was important.
Well, every little detail is important in court. Like I said, Your Honor, I'd like that noted. There is a wall blocking the exit of the doors. There is no way that the witness could have seen the car parked where he claims it to be parked. There's no way he could have heard that. Therefore, I think the witness's statements should be completely thrown out.
Hey.
Excuse me? Do you know who I am? My name is Nova Draco. How dare you?
Are you making a motion to overturn his testimony?
That is correct, Your Honor.
I have an objection.
What would the objection
You know who I am?
be?
But this is the only
Witness,
key,
please
isn't it?
take a seat.
Do you fucking know who I am? I am Nova fucking Draco, you sick fuck!
Your Honor.
Go sit down, please.
Yes.
This is the third outburst Mr. Draco has made in court.
We will deal with that at the end. Mr. Steven?
Yeah.
This is our only key eyewitness's testimony for the actual incident in case at the moment. So the fact that this is our only key witness, I don't believe that his testimony should be stripped from
Your Honor, that is not my fault. That is...
Steven, your objection has to be specific to the cause of objection. He's saying that the witness couldn't have saw it. You have to object based on that, not that it would be damaging to your case if he was overturned.
But it sounds like he's trying to strip the entire witness's testimony from everything. So
yeah, he is. He's the defense counsel. That's his job.
I understand that, but it's going from the hearsay of what you could see walking past a wall or walking out a door. You see a wall. You want to strip that based on the reference of meters and feet and what you can see and what you can't see. That's a bit ridiculous.
Well, Your Honor,
I
I'm
agree.
going based off merely what the witness said.
I will put a pin in this objection and will permit defense counsel and the plaintiff's counsel to make arguments at the bench after a rebuttal by the plaintiff's counsel. You may continue questioning, Mr. Larson.
My questioning is up, Your Honor. The plaintiff can rebuttal if you so choose.
Plaintiff, you may have a rebuttal and redirect your witness in questioning.
Hi, Brando.
I'm in no longer need of the witness.
Alright. Since you're not redirecting, I'm gonna have to sustain the defense counsel's motion to quash, and his testimony will now be stricken from the record. You may begin closing arguments at this time. You may approach first, Stephen.
Well, basically, my closing argument on this is of the fact that Tim is still had his vehicle stolen from him, the fact that the officer did not identify himself, and the fact that his Fourth Amendment was brutally assaulted by the seizure of his vehicle. I understand that the defense here is stating the fact that we cannot prove the fact that it was his vehicle. There is no slip that you receive from renting a car, so the fact that he's bringing that up now is a bit ridiculous.
Your Honor, objection. It was only brought up that it was a rental car and voice of the witness, and that witness's statement has been stricken from the record.
Is understood, but I believe,
where there is no paper.
Mr. Larson, I believe that you specifically had mentioned in your oral arguments about him not having a piece of the paper. During closing arguments, you can only object if he's in breach of specific court procedure. He's simply stating his opinion based on the established facts from the oral arguments and the direct examination, so I'm going to go ahead and overturn the objection.
Free my nigga. Free my nigga Tim.
You may continue, Stephen.
Well, the fact of the matter is, we're still at the standing of the fact that the vehicle was stolen from Tim, the fact that his Fourth Amendment rights were completely destroyed by that officer, and the fact that the officer is not here today in question, as well as Tim, is a matter of I guess, throw it against the wall and call it Sally, because it is what it is at that point. That is my closing argument, the fact that a vehicle was stolen.
Very well.
Your thing.
Larson, you may approach and make your closing arguments.
Your Honor, like I've stated multiple times, Tim Cooper has got a violent track record. The proof is in the pudding. The assault with the deadly weapon, the grand theft autos, the not complying with an officer. Tim Cooper simply lashed out. As stated before, there's no way to prove that this vehicle belonged to Tim Cooper. It is not a license plate that comes up, and you can't even run the license plate. The license plate is not in the evidence provided by the plaintiff's counsel. I believe the idea about the rental, I think that was misconstrued. I merely brought that up with the witness that took the stand. That has since been thrown out. The plaintiff's counsel is simply grasping at straws. The officer commandeered a vehicle that belongs to nobody, actually. He had to be somewhere in a hurry. He was well within his right. There was no violation of any right. He shot an officer. He was taken into police custody. He was processed, and he pled guilty to the charge of the attempted murder of a peace officer. Again, I'm just going to reiterate, he lashed out. He
did nothing!
Please find that man in the amount of $25,000 for contempt of court, Mr. Murphy, and you may continue, Mr. Larson.
He pled guilty to the charge of the attempted murder of a peace officer. There was no violation of any rights that the plaintiff's counsel is grasping at. Yeah, they're grasping at straws here, Your Honor. It is pretty clear cut and dry that it is not his vehicle. There's no way to prove it's his vehicle. And that's my closing argument, Your Honor.
Very well. Are there any final motions before I go into deliberation?
No, Your Honor.
Court will be in recess for 10 minutes while I make my deliberation.
Come on, nigga.
Please refrain from outbursting in the court.
My bad, yo.
No.
This guy good to come back up if he stays quiet.
Nova will be allowed back up.
Will the outcome be posted in the sky, guys?
You know we fucking pack him with the automatic, no tragic. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that, my good boy. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, look at those. Fuck my baby. Think that scares me, huh? It's a bit stupid if you wasn't me. Oh, oops. Put up your hands, sir. Alright, let's see. Alright, okay. Okay, looking pretty smooth. I like that 1.7K you got. Can I have it? Thanks, my heart. Shit, it cost me a couple million. Sir. Let me Pastor, let me hold it for it. Say no more. Yeah, look at us, gang. Everyone in court be down, but we up, on God. Shit, look at us. We're touching fingertips. Look at that. We're touching fingertips. Imagine what other tips we can touch. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit! Hold on. Shit! Look at us, gang. Yo, why am I grabbing his ass like that? Tui. shit, yo, gang, come back. Wait, hold on. Do you, raccoon man, take me to be your lovely but wedded wife?
God knows. I am
Germain. With Germain's failure to come back to the scene, he's going to be charged with $50,000.
Alright. Court is now back in session. Everyone may resume their seats. All rise for the reading of the verdict. In the matter of Tim Cooper v LSPD, the court has considered the veracity of the witness testimony of Nova Draco specific to what he may or may not have witnessed, and finds that he could not have witnessed things specific to the hot wiring of the vehicle, but did indeed hear parts of the altercation. We've also considered the taking clause in relation to the need of the state and the police versus the protection of the citizen under the Fourth Amendment. Based on those considerations, the First Circuit Court of San Andreas rules as follows. On the tort of unlawful arrest, the court rules in favor of the defendant, the Los Santos Police Department, based on the guilty plea of Tim Cooper and the testimony of Nova Draco affirming Tim Cooper has knowledge of what Caleb looked like and finding it more probable than not that he knew who Caleb was during the commandeering in question. On the tort of deprivation of property in relation to the vehicle, we find in favor of the plaintiff, Tim Cooper, as no affirming evidence to the contrary exists as to the possession of the vehicle, and the vehicle being the one available for rent from the apartments, and the vehicle more probably than not being possessed by Tim Cooper and not Caleb Rich at the time of the incident, and no affirmation as to a cause or emergency to justify the commandeering of the vehicle under the taking clause. The court also finds that as a rental, the deprivation claimed to be less than if it were a privately owned vehicle, and not to be valued at the standard rate of $60,000 as requested. The court awards the plaintiff in the amount of $20,000 for the deprivation of a rented vehicle, and awards legal fees in the amount of $90,000, totaling $120,000 to the plaintiff, Tim Cooper, to be paid by the defendant, the Los Santos Police Department. Court is now adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.